Hey guys, Attorney Walter Hnot. Now the video looks a little funny. I'm not sure. Up there, it's a little bit better. Now let's get right into this. So the event is actually going to be on the 20th. So today is the 19th, the 20th. It's at noon. Commissioner Kijakazi is doing a big event on SSI. It looks like this: SSI at 50, obviously 50 years old. That's what they're going for. 1972, Nixon, etc. But look at who is going to be joining her. Senator, and big name ones. Let's go into this real quick. Attorney Walter Hnot. This is the most important event for supplemental security income in 2022. There is a push by the federal government, those who are on SSI, those who are seeking SSI, and those immigrants who are expecting to be granted SSI, to increase benefits, decrease limitations, and decrease thresholds. A large event will occur called SSI at 50, the safety net America forgot. Don't be late. Here's the deal. It's at noon, only an hour and a half on October the 20th. It's happening tomorrow. Okay. And if you go to Eventbrite, the big event place, you can search the title, The Safety Net America Forgot, and get a free ticket to access it online. Okay. This means you won't get to feel the fireworks show during the halftime, but you'll be able to sit and enjoy the information nonetheless. Now, Commissioner Kijakazi will be joined by Senator Wyden, Brown, and Warren. Respectively, their subscriber counts on YouTube are 36,000 with the Social Security Administration, 3K, 6K, and 23K, totaling around 68,000 subscribers. Ironically, collectively equaling among 3 senators and the financially largest agency in the USA, the same amount of subscribers as little old me, which is really cool. The most viewed and subscribed to disability attorney in America. Now, here's the thing. I say this because I want to do my part with getting the excitement up, with getting the enrichment up for people to go ahead and see this event on the 20th. I want them to be a part of it. And I need to go ahead and let you know, I am going to have a press pass. It's kind of a big deal, even though you just click a button, they give it to you anyways. But I'm special and I feel special, so that's good. All right, here's the thing I want to go through. Before we go into exactly what they're going to be talking about, and I don't know, they haven't talked with me about it, which is, I feel left out. I feel like my pony has been ridden off the road. But that's okay. I do want to point out one thing first. How amazing is it that Commissioner Kijakazi is actually doing this big event? We would never expect Commissioner Saul to do a show like this. It would just never even be on the table. So, if you're in your seat, a little clap for Commissioner Kijakazi on whipping out the flute and the fiddle for this exciting show on the future of SSI benefits. All right, guys. Now, remember, there are around 8 million people who receive SSI benefits of the 330 million who live in America. Now, while that's only around 2.42% of the population, once again, remember that it is 8 million people. Just to put things in perspective, the entire state of Washington or Virginia is how many people are on SSI. Just to give you perspective. Now, here's the problem. SSI people at the max get around $841 per month, but that's not most of them. That's not all of them. And on average, they get around $625 a month. And on the sad side of all that, a bunch of them get around $400 per month or even less. This is a class 5 no bueno because a studio apartment eats up the entire amount for many, if not most states. Let's go through the really cheap ones. Let's get out our twangy fiddle and our bourbon and have a good time. Here we go. Arkansas, $577 for their average studio apartment. Studio is the little apartment. It's the apartment that screams, I'm in fashion and trying to get an education in New York City, and I hate my life. Next one, Kentucky, $612. Next one, South Dakota, $619. Now, those are obviously the red state sides, totally cool. With that said, the blue state sides, California is $1,280. Hawaii is $1,291. And Washington, D.C., the beacon, the light, the failed experiment comes in at $1,625 for a studio apartment. All right, here we go. I'm proud of that, by the way, Washington, D.C. being so ridiculously expensive in the kind of way that a friend of mine gets arrested for drunk singing in public when their whole life they have been oppressed to the point where they couldn't sing a single note. Proud American right here. Now let's go right into this, but seriously, you can't live in the blue states and be an SSI recipient. It financially doesn't work out. You can't live in their cities. You can't live out in the middle of nowhere unless it's literally in the middle of nowhere and you don't have to worry about the county showing up and saying, get out of your trailer. Your trailer can't be here. But here's the deal. Some blue states give a state supplemental as well for the most part, because the federal benefit in and of itself is not enough to go ahead and cover all the expenses that you would traditionally need to pay for to be able to live in those blue states. So, with that said, these blue states on the far side, SSI equates to almost automatically, a homeless situation unless you're in a special program where they only take a percentage of your SSI benefits to be able to live there. Okay. And that's really what's coming up with this event in the future, with these three senators and the Commissioner Kijakazi being basically the person that's going to direct the communications. Now, first off, I think the title is a bad one, but who cares? It's about a good topic. So, hey. But think about it, the safety net America forgot. Nixon put SSI into law in 1972, which was not taught in schools, which is not taught by employers, which has almost zero advertising today from states and federal agencies. As a result of this, it's not that America really forgot SSI, it's that most Americans never even knew that it existed. But I still think her title there is catchy. I don't know if she came up with it or somebody else came up with it. It's catchy. So it is good. It's not a good topic too. I have my theories as to why most people are not taught about SSI, but those theories will get me into trouble, which I am better at finding on my own. So thank you. We're just going to skip right past that one. Now, with that said, what they're likely to cover are the following bullet points. And before you say, well, what about this or what about that? These are the most likely. Remember, it is right now 2:28 a.m. Obviously, I've not gone to a doctor to get a diagnostic impression for insomnia, which I won't, because one day I'll probably have a different job, such as being retired. All right, let's go into this real quick, where it won't matter what I have, but if I don't, if I become a judge, they're going to be like, do you have any mental impairments? The answer is no. All right, number one, increasing SSI benefits to the 100 to 115% of the poverty rate. This is the federal poverty rate, okay? So what they're looking at with supplemental security income is boosting it from the 841 up to somewhere around, for 2022 figures, of course, this would be something that would come into later years, but somewhere around $1,132.50, or maybe somewhere around $1,300. If they're 120%, probably $1,359, okay, of the federal poverty rate. Also, quick side note, I'm sorry the camera's not very good. I bought the power supply for my really good one, but it came and it didn't fit, so now I have to go yell at them, even though it'll be a text battle where I'll be chatting them because you can't call the company. All right, next thing. Remember, these came from the wisconsin.gov website on the federal poverty rates, okay? That's where these numbers came from. Everybody was like, where's your list? Where's the Excel sheet that I can download? Therefore, my legal conclusion is that it is okay to steal the information from the state and federal government so long as it came from their website. Now, stay with me, people. We are having a good time tonight, and nobody has been hurt yet, so let's get right to it. If we boost SSI people to the 100% mark of the federal poverty rate, they will get a 30+% boost. And that's a good thing because they just can't afford to live. And most of that is due to the cost of living adjustment being such an improper calculation that hurts the SSI, the SSDI, the retired people, etc. Number two on this list, that was number one. Number two, abolish the marriage penalty rule. So 841 plus 841 is $1,682. But not today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, it's $1,261 because, yeah, you thought you were good at math. Well, the federal government is gooder at math, and here's why. The federal government realized some basics. If two people live together, it should be cheaper, right? That's the thing that they claimed and hid behind. I didn't say that. The expectation is that the married people will live together. So they ding you with a wedding ring monthly tax. The things that the federal government won't tell you is that if people have less money, they're less likely to have children. And poor people who have children are more likely to need assistance from the federal government or state government for their children. So if you're lucky enough to be disabled, and, basically go ahead and find somebody else who is also disabled and on SSI, then you basically get a reduction of benefits. So look, it's an immoral rule. We all know it's an immoral rule, an inappropriate rule. And basically people just don't get married to get around it. They play the game. They have separate addresses and play the game of, yeah, I know this person, but I'm not maybe dating them, but I'm married, all this jazz. Let's just get rid of the rule and move forward because it's better for people to get married that actually want to get married and form that foundational relationship, even though everybody tells me nowadays that's just a piece of paper which I'm inclined to believe them because they're all getting divorces. Now, number 3, there's the 3 finger. So I was a little slow to the party. It was stuck at the tailgate. Number 3, boost the asset limits from a 2K to 3K split to a 10K to 20K split. That means $2,000 for one person, 3K total for a married couple. Once again, I don't know why we're punishing these married couples. Get rid of it. Just do basically 20K per person or 15K per person. Just do that. Okay. It's no surprise that the homeless people have no assets. That's because they can't have more than 2K, which in a couple of years is going to be the amount you will deposit into the 50-cent machine for a live-action World War III Miley Cyrus wrecking ball. Alas, there are 2 issues here. The 2K, 3K asset limit has not gone up each year, with the COLA, and that's a problem that needs to be fixed. And the 10K, 20K is a good place to start, even though they should just get rid of it and just do 15K across the board. How many of you even feel safe with having a backup of $2,000 in funds? If you have student loans, please put your hands down. You know you don't have right to partake in this conversation. You do, you know that. And basically, to be fair, you are, essentially a person who, is not allowed to go ahead and partake in those conversations because you will have to pay the federal government back with your student loans like a slave. That's what it is. Now, what I would say as a result of being somebody like me who started out with $500,000 in student loans is that, all these other student loan people, if you want to complain, you're just going to have to go sit down in the corner and think about your lending sins, right? Even though you're 17, signing a massive contract for $100,000, didn't know what you were doing. Of course, hey, I don't want to see those tears, you student loan people, because the IRS is looking right at you, and they're going to tax you for whatever products you make. You make water, taxing it. Look, I'm just trying to help you out. All right, here we go. Number 4, getting rid of the income restriction rule and boosting it to $400. Look, guys, a lot of SSI people want to do part-time jobs. Remember, being found disabled is based upon, essentially earnings from jobs, but it's really an 8-hour gig, 8 hours of full-time work job analysis, okay? So what you need to know is this. After the $65, $20 allowance, they get hit with $1 taken from their benefits for every $2 earned. This is really a cute way for the government to get more tax dollars, get you working, and not need to pay you more benefits than they need to. It's a win-win-win, but expect deodorant sales to go up for those who are working. Anyways, think about that. It's not a joke. It's actually a really serious thing. Now, don't forget that they will likely allow you to get more funds from others that won't count against you. That's a really good thing. Less of this in-kind, support rule, the 1/3 reduction rule. Get rid of those. And also allow you to receive other benefits like VA benefits without cutting off your SSI benefits. Okay, now number 5. This is the biggie. This is, in my opinion, the big biggie, okay? Getting rid of the in-kind support and maintenance rule. We need to get rid of it. It has a bunch of ins and outs, but basically if someone is assisting you with some aspect of your living, like money or room, then they will take away, like the local field office will mark it off and take away 1/3 of your SSI benefits. So you'll go from your 841 and lose 1/3. Okay. This is just evil. So if SSI is the last resort program for people who need help to survive, then why are we penalizing the people who help the homeless and help the helpless, and then penalizing the helpless and the homeless as a result of it? To me, this is a sin. This is probably one of the worst rules that this government actually has. I thought Biden was going to strike it down within the first year. He has not. This is the kind of rule that you would expect from China or Russia. Okay. Number 6, another thing you can expect them to promote is that all limitations will be increased with the COLA so that they go up each year and are not limited by one act of Congress. That's how we ended up with a lot of these really stupid rules like the 2K, 3K asset limit rule. It just never goes up. It just sits there and it gets ridiculous after a while. We're past ridiculous now. Number 7, another thing you will likely hear about is how SSI benefits will incorporate themselves as a hybrid allowance into DAC, SSDI, VA retirement, and auxiliary benefits. The idea is to stop other programs from reducing or cutting off someone's SSI benefits completely. So what happens is a lot of VA people, right? They have some impairment, okay? They're disabled vets. And then they won't work. They'll apply for VA benefits, they'll get VA benefits, and they just won't apply for civilian benefits. 5 years, 6 years, 7 years will go by. They go ahead and apply for the, SSDI, SSI, well, their quarters of coverage have run. You need 20 within the past 10 years, and they don't have them. So they go for SSI, but they can't get SSI because their VA benefits are too high and they're counted against them. That's the problem that a lot of these VA guys usually run into. Okay. Number eight. Another thing you will likely hear about is how these centers will push other states who do not have automatic Medicaid for SSI recipients and to have automatic Medicaid for SSI benefit winners. I'm talking about basically states that when you win disability benefits for SSI, they don't give you automatically Medicaid. They have a more stringent standard, which is just, in my opinion, stupid. But I'm not going to call those states out like Connecticut, Hawaii, Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, and Virginia. I will not put them out there like that because I respect them. Now, someone isn't getting a Hanukkah card. I'm not saying which states. This upcoming Christmas season. Okay, I'm not saying which states. Number 9. Another thing you will likely hear is how they can change the spend down rules so that when someone comes into a larger chunk of money, they will not be forced to go into poverty mode to save their benefits, like an inheritance or a nickel scratching lotto ticket. Okay. Number 10, and this is a big thing politically going on here. This is pre-midterms, right? Okay. But remember, 50 years have passed. So that's the underlying thing here. And remember, these are the arguments I'm going to see more from the super right side. Okay. You got 3 Democratic senators pushing to boost a program with 8 million people on it and lots of immigrant and refugee future potential SSI recipients. It's no secret that SSI people mostly vote Democrat and SSDI people tend to mostly vote Republican. So aside from that, and I know those arguments are going to be made, I just wanted to touch on them and then keep rolling. Aside from that, let's take a moment and realize how special this moment is. This isn't just the freshman straight off the vine and into the House of Representatives player. These are 3 big name senators. This is a good thing. This is a very good thing. And it's heating up the reality that SSI benefits are no longer a benefit of not enough due to inflation and need to re-earn their title as a benefit of last resort. This is movement that we have been waiting for. And it's movement that we desperately need to see for retirement benefits and Social Security disability insurance benefits. Now, guys, the 20th, tomorrow, kick off your shoes, pop the corn, and snuggle a doggy at high noon for an Eventbrite level production on how the SSI program can be saved. I'm heading to bed. It is now 2:38 a.m. You guys have a wonderful night. I have to wake up early. I will catch you later and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.